Right, hello. Hi, everyone. Lunchtime on Friday. Look, I'm just walking back I've just been in my Friday lunchtime yoga class. It was amazing. I'm totally feeling very zen now, ready for the rest of the day. Anyway, in this yoga class, about 10 minutes in, it always takes me a bit of time to slightly switch off. I had such a great idea about how to, like, a different way of describing how the imposter speech works. Now, first of all, I've just come out of a yoga class. I haven't kind of done an impromptu live like this on the streaming platform quite like this before. So bear with me. I hope the sound is good. I hope it's not too windy. But what I'm going to share, you're going to find really interesting. And I'm dying to know if this lands with you, if it resonates with you, right? So, first of all, what's the imposter speech? And then I'm going to tell you about this great idea or way um, that I'm thinking of, like, describing it to you so it makes so much sense. And you can see why you absolutely must have one. And in fact, I think everybody needs an imposter speech. I'm going to be speaking to that over the next week or so. So here's the epiphany I had. I was thinking about how the body works. Everybody's body works, how interconnected everything is. And although obviously our bodies are all different, and they all work in their own unique ways, there are certain sort of core principles. And the clue as to what I'm going to be talking about is in that core principles. So, obviously, in yoga, you're using lots of your whole body. And as with any form of exercise, the core, so your abdominal area, plays a really important part. So, and you're going to love this. If you are a sporty person, you hit the gym or you even aspire to hit the gym, like, you know about the core, you know how important that is. Maybe you've done a plank in your life, maybe you always do planks, but there are lots of exercises where we focus on building the core. And the reason for that is because everything stems from your core. And the stronger your core, the more effectively and efficiently you can do everything else with the rest of your body. And what happens is the core, the way I like to think of the core is, although it might be a sort of isolated area in the body that I might work on with isolating movements, it's actually the thing that allows all of the rest of my body to work really well together. So if I'm doing anything that requires my legs, my core being strong makes my legs, like, helps them work efficiently. Likewise with my arms, etc. So I was thinking about how similar this is to the imposter speech. So, the imposter speech, for those of you who are new to my work or aren't aware of what it is simply a speech, a pep talk. It's the thing you say to yourself in the moment where any form of self-doubt comes up, where, I talk about your imposter syndrome being triggered. And what I teach in Confident Black Lawyers in my online course is the importance of, like, getting to know your triggers, getting to recognize the signs of imposter syndrome being triggered. So those signs being, there might be how you're thinking about yourself, like, oh, I don't belong, or I my husband just driven by distracted me. I don't belong, or I'm not enough. There might be thoughts like that, or it might be feelings that you're not enough, or it might be some of those secret signs I'm always talking about, ones you want to watch out for. The overworking, like perfectionism, working twice as hard, you're overthinking, the self-sabotage, the playing small, right? Working hard with your head down. There's a whole host of them. And make sure you follow me because I talk about these all the time. And so the recognizing of those signs is really important. The knowing of what triggers you to go into that behavioral cycle of working in a way that doesn't serve you, that just creates more insecurity and anxiety. All of that you want to know in order to, it's all part of how you overcome your imposter syndrome. But let's go back to the core, which is where I started, and which was this great idea I had for describing to you how the imposter speech works. So this speech, it's a pre-prepared speech, right? And what it is it's made up of all of these components of who you are. So it brings together, it draws on your identity from, like, literally starting with your name, your identity. It draws on your successes. It draw like who you are as a result of your successes. It brings together who you are as a result of the decisions you've made in your lifetime and the values that have drawn those decisions. It draws on all the failures and setbacks that you have experienced and you've had to overcome to get where you are. And finally, it draws on your hopes, your dreams, your aspirations, where you want to go, what you want for yourself, right? Your goals. So there are 5 elements that I've just listed there that the imposter syndrome, the imposter speech pulls together. And what your speech represents is all of those elements. And so as I was in yoga just now, lying on the mat, thinking about the different parts of my body, when my brain was slowing down, switching off from the morning's work, it occurred to me that the imposter speech is like the core, right? It draws on the different parts of your body. Now, for me, my 2 legs, my 2 arms, my head, and for a lot of you, it will be the same, like drawing on those key parts of your body and like the core being the ultimate strength of that, holding the strength of all of those different components. What does this mean? It means if you try to do anything, any form of exercise, it could be just walking, going out about in the world. If you do that and you have no core, then simply walking down the street or lifting weights or jumping, anything like that, is actually really hard. You probably can do it, right? A lot of people are walking around with very weak abdominal muscles and they are functioning, right? It's not that you're not doing, your body's not doing what it's supposed to do. But when you work your core, when you use your core, when your core is the focus, it's the kind of starting point, when you are grounded in your core, every other movement is so much easier. It's so much more powerful. You move so much more quickly, easily, strongly, flexibly through the world, right? You can adapt to all sorts of circumstances around you. You can adapt to suddenly to needing to sidestep something, or you can speed up, you can slow down. All of that you can do so efficiently, so much more easily and quickly, and I would say enjoyably when you have a strong core. So this is how I want you to think about the imposter speech, right? Your imposter speech, and hi, it's good to see you, Micah. The imposter speech is your core. It is the piece you want to connect to. It is the piece that grounds you. It's the core of who you are. So if you are willing to develop your core, right? If you are willing to practice and repeatedly use your core, so develop your imposter speech, use your imposter speech every time, like even the like there's even the slightest hint of your imposter syndrome being triggered, if you're able to catch those behaviors, know you've been triggered, and then switch on your core, right, by saying your imposter speech. Remember, I said it's the thing that you say to yourself in the moment when your imposter syndrome has been triggered. You saying it to yourself it's like you switching on your core. If you've ever done a plank and you haven't been using your core and your class instructor or your fitness instructor, your personal trainer says use your core, you switch that on and it completely changes um, the feel of your plank. It changes the integrity of your plank. You can hold it longer. You are stronger. You perform better, right? So that's exactly how the imposter syndrome works. It helps you perform better, right? It switches you on. It connects you to your core, the core of who you are. And that's what allows you in the moment. That's how you overcome the imposter syndrome. That's how you then show up to the task in front of you, show up to your work, show up to the expectation that you speak up or that you present an argument or you summarize whatever it might be, a project or whatever it is, come up with ideas, whatever your task is that's in front of you. If you can connect to your core, the core of who you are, using the imposter speech, right? If you can do that in the moment, then there is no limit to what you can do. You will be able to, you'll be, for a start, performing much better. But for me, what's even better is how this compounds over time. So what happens is you use it once, you'll notice that it works. You use it twice, you'll notice it works again. You keep using it, keep using your imposter speech, keep saying it to yourself, i.e. connecting to your core, right? The core of who you are. Don't get worried, I might be confusing you with this. analogy, but like you're connecting to the core of who you are. And like the imposter speech is what enables you to do that. So the more you do that, not only will you get really, really skilled at doing it and be able to do it more and more quickly, right? It will also compound in terms of results to the point where you experiencing imposter syndrome or it being triggered or there being a triggered event at a certain point, as soon as that trigger event happens, your core will kick in, right? Your imposter speech will be there. So the sound of who you are at your core, your successes, the integrity of your decisions, the failures you've overcome, the aspirations and goals that you have set for yourself, your identity, all of those elements that are speak to the core of who you are and are you at your most powerful, your most capable, your most motivated, your most courageous, your most determined. Like that's what the imposter speech does it gives you access to that person. It makes you that version of you, right? So what happens is the more you use it, the more fluent you become in using it, the more quickly you notice your imposter syndrome's been triggered and your brain goes to your imposter speech. Suddenly that just becomes more and more who you are, like without having to consciously think about it. You just go through the world as the person who knows and can draw on their successes, their confidence making decisions, their ability to, their resilience, their resourcefulness, right? Their ambition. You just become that person more and more and more, more easily, more naturally, until it's just who you are. In other words, you become so confident, right? You have the confidence to succeed, to achieve anything you set your mind to. You have the confidence to walk into any room, to speak in any meeting. You have the confidence to go for promotion. Yeah. This is how the imposter syndrome works. The imposter syndrome is like it connects you to your core, the core of who you are. That is your strength. Okay. When you can do that and you do it repeatedly, my friend, you're going to be unstoppable. Right. So I'm at home. So I need to get on, but I didn't want to leave without telling you that I am running a very exciting event at the end of May. It's on the 31st of May. It's Saturday. It's going to be the whole day. It's called Confidence Coaching Live. I'm so excited about it. I sneakily announced it yesterday on social media and in my emails this morning. Confidence Coaching Live. It's going to be me in person. I'm inviting you as a Black lawyer to come and join. It's £49 the ticket, and for that, you get a whole day of me literally explaining, walking you through the process of creating your imposter speech, right? So that you know exactly how, when your imposter syndrome is triggered, and we talk about the triggers, we're going to talk about the signs you need to recognize. But you are literally on this day, I'm going to coach you on your confidence, every confidence issue that you've ever had. I'm going to coach you on all of it. And what you're going to come out with is your own imposter speech. We're going to work on it. We're going to put it together. I'm going to be there right alongside you. We're going to do all this together on the 31st of May. Um, more details will follow soon. But listen, if you know this is something that you want, I was going to say if you know it's something that you need, but everybody needs an imposter speech. Everybody needs that thing that they say to themselves, that speech, that pep talk that they can say to themselves in the moment when they doubt themselves, right? You need this. I need this at every single level. As I get more and more ambitious, as I get more and more, like as I achieve more and more successes, as I encounter more failures, I need and use my imposter speech all the time. It has been responsible for my success, the single most important factor in my success in the last 10 years, without a shadow of a doubt. And I'm going to share it with you, and I want to help you build your own. So make sure if you're listening to this on, let me see, where am I? Yes, you're watching it on social media. DM me if you know this is something you're straight away in. Don't even wait for the flyer. Don't even wait for any more details. Just DM me on social media and say, sign me up, right? Just send me that message and I will send you, I'm calling it the unofficial link to book your ticket because I haven't actually officially announced it and sent out the links yet. But you can get in on this early because there's only 40 places. It's in Covent Garden, 31st of May, 2025. For the first time ever, I'm doing a full day of confidence coaching live where I coach you all day on anything related to your confidence issues. I cannot wait. You are going to find this absolutely transformational. All right. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know what you think about that. that um, analogy of you that I used of the imposter connects you to your core. The most important part, well, this is my post yoga hairstyle, the most important part of your body when it comes to performing with integrity, without injury, performing to your potential at your highest level. All right, I hope you enjoyed this. I'll make sure I do my hair a bit better next time I go live. I'll be back again soon. Have a beautiful day. Bye for now.